Hello everybody and welcome back. I am KRX and we're back with some more Democracy 4. We're on a patch 1.3, so it's been updated a number of times since its early access release last year in 2020, but this is up to date as of mid-2021, summer 2021. They've added a number of nations since the game came out: Australia, Spain, South Korea, Italy, and Japan. A number of these nations weren't even announced originally, and I think more nations are even coming and stuff, which is pretty cool. We did a short playthrough as the UK and failed horribly. We did a conservative theocracy in the United States, which was pretty funny and silly. That was a fun playthrough, and we succeeded quite a bit. It was a very successful playthrough, but I know that they've been doing some balancing changes and stuff like that. I'm thinking actually Germany would be kind of interesting. I know that when I tried France, I failed horribly. But I don't know. Germany seems like it would be a pretty powerful nation, all things considered. Yeah, I don't know. Let's get into it. Let's play some democracy. I can't remember honestly if the third-party system tends to make the game easier or harder. I think actually is the three-party system actually new as of one of the updates. I'm not sure. Let's be the granola party here, and there we go. This will be good. All of this stuff looks about right. Actually, political apathy. Extent to which voters will not bother voting, assuming they do not feel strongly for or against. Okay, so it looks like for the most part, 34% won't be likely to vote unless they really care. I think the lower you make this, the harder the game is, because more people will be involved, and presumably you can you'd have to appease everybody more so than like specific groups of people and stuff, which actually it's that kind of interesting. And I guess like actually it could, I don't know, maybe it could be easier if I guess it depends on who ends up being what kind of groups of people end up caring about what's going on and getting invested and stuff like that. Congrats on your election victory. Hey guys, if you guys are just haven't played Democracy before, we'll definitely be talking a little bit about how the game is played and such. It's a little bit confusing. Honestly, I'd never played Democracy before Democracy 4, and I really, really like it. It's super, super fun. But we kind of just need to get a sense of what's going on here. We're actually running a... Okay, we're running a deficit. We're running a 15 billion euro deficit. That's really not that bad. 2 trillion euro debt. 15 billion euro deficit, that I think that's basically nothing. Essentially we're just, our expenditures are 10% over our income or whatever. And I will say one thing that I think I'd like to see change in this game is the although actually we are in the European Union, so it is a little different there, but I wish the game wasn't so fixated on this idea of like deficits and stuff. I wish it was a little bit more for countries like the UK and for the United States of America that can control their own currency. I feel like the simulation's a little bit kind of not completely in line with modern economic theory. But let's go into here into cabinet ministers. One of the things that's really usually kind of good is just to kind of like reshuffle the cabinet at the start and just make sure you have good people, because you can see that some of these people here just aren't the best. Some of these people aren't too bad. But just to reshuffle the entire cabinet here. And we could just get rid of the people that aren't great and keep the other ones that seem to be pretty good. Yeah, let's just reshuffle the cabinet here. Let's hire someone for this position. Actually, what am I doing? Yeah, welfare. So we want someone that likes to do, that is somehow, here we go, someone that's specialized in welfare and has a good political capital skill. There's a 2.0 right there. There we go. Let's hire this person. It looks like we're actually, oh, here's a 2.2 economy, 2.2. There we go. Genius head of our economy here. Fantastic. We definitely want to add in this 2.1 guy. In fact, he would have been good in the welfare category, but I guess I wasn't paying attention there. This is a tax person. That's a 1.9 tax person. That's not too bad. So again, this is just something just to make sure that we're getting as much political capital in the first day. Public services. Oof. Do we have someone here that really... I might just put this guy in even if he doesn't like... apparently the socialists and the state employees actually kind of like he appeals to those groups. 0.7. If he doesn't like his... I believe if he doesn't have a personal affinity, these jobs are best suited for this minister and being most effective at performing. And I think it means that they actually just kind of enjoy... I think they just kind of enjoy their work a little bit more too. How good the minister is at campaigning during elections, which affects voters' decision on election day. So he's terrible at campaigning. This guy's a 1.7. It's the highest that we can go with someone that actually likes to do public services. Middle income and conservatives will be happy with that person. So right now we can see that our current per turn is now 23 per turn. That's because we've reshuffled the cabinet a little bit. We have 9 more that we can do something with. We kind of need to get a sense of like, what are the red things, right? So when you're playing this game, and again, this isn't like an explicit tutorial. We actually have a couple playthroughs already that are maybe a little bit more tutorial-esque, but this is flashing at us. So it's like, what the heck? And we can hover on this and see the things that are like attributing this. Alcohol consumption seems to be the largest factor, as that bar is like thick and moving fast to the alcohol abuse. So we just have a certain amount of alcohol consumption, and it's leading to alcohol abuse. Now, alcohol consumption by itself doesn't lead to abuse, just in massive quantities as it's pushing it up here. We can see the police force is actually trying to push it down. So a police force is actually trying to remove excess alcohol abuse. Now, it seems like one of the things we could do, unemployment is pushing it up. So by reducing the unemployment, we can reduce alcohol abuse. By reducing poverty, we can reduce alcohol abuse. Again, alcohol just is a relatively kind of cheap activity that maybe people can do if they're unemployed or lower income and such. We could change that by raising. One of the ways that we can actually really cut down, and we could just actually go into alcohol consumption, see what's actually caused. The GDP is doing well. People have extra income, and actually alcohol law here is actually causing it to go up quite a bit. Legal drug consumption is causing it to go down. So there's other varieties of drugs that people can take legally. So presumably if we legalized more drugs, people would maybe choose other drugs other than alcohol as their drug of choice, and that would bring down alcohol consumption. Alcohol awareness campaign, it looks like we do have something like this. We're not paying a lot of money. We could raise this. This is a relatively, honestly, this is decently cheap. All things considered, this is one political capital to make this adjustment, and it's only going to cost us about 60 additional million euros, right? In million, not billion. It's popular about 50%. Yeah, let's apply the changes here. Let's spend one political capital, apply the changes there, and that means that over time this will bring down alcohol consumption. Should go down a little bit there. No limits, so the consumption goes way up. Of course, that's one thing we can do, is we can raise the age here, and that would bring low strength only, minimum age 21. That brings down the consumption quite a bit. Although interestingly enough, going up to 18 doesn't really change anything. Maybe that's signifying. Cancel. Yep, let's close out of that. So this is the one that's flashing at us, and the truth is we can see that what is this actually doing because this is active. What are the effects? Well, violent crime is going up, healthcare demand is going up, health is going down, and crime is going up. So crime is going up and health is going down, essentially. We have other things going on in the country, like we have respiratory disease. This is pretty common in the developed countries. Usually this has to do with tobacco usage in developed countries, being, again, similar to alcohol consumption, a very common thing. And, we could have a campaign trying to get people to reduce We could increase the tobacco tax. This is a one that really, this actually leads to an income, right? This is a way to actually generate additional income. However, it really reduces the usage, and when the usage goes down, the income goes down too, right? So it's kind of striking a balance between, if you're looking at it as a source of income, striking a balance between raising it high enough that you can get maximum amount of income while also reducing it enough to take care of public health issues and stuff. The environment brings it down, right? So just strengthening the environment. Reforestation is a great way to do this as well. Pollution controls are raising it up. GDP, just when the GDP is moving and grooving and everybody's, sort of riding high economically, it tends that people purchase extra cars or go on trips or all kinds of different things. So as the GDP goes up, it actually pulls down the environment. It tends to be a net, as businesses expand, they extract more resources from the literal environment and deplete natural resources and things like that, and so on and so forth. So obesity, although to be fair, it looks like we can actually bring obesity down. Although to get rid of obesity, we have to bring it below the green line. The red line is where it starts. So you can see we barely got it to trigger, but to get it to go away, we actually have to get below the green line. And that's so it just doesn't go bobbing too much. Healthy eating campaign is bringing down obesity. There's a number of things we could do here. I mean, just private healthcare is bringing it down. So we could do things to maximize these aspects that are bringing down obesity. We could also do things that are compulsory school sports. Germany has this. By going beyond the physical education once a week in schools, this program will introduce a fully fledged sports classes. Pupils will be encouraged to pick a field they like and train for it. Is this mandatory? That's interesting. Yeah, the youth really don't like this. I mean, I get where we're going with. I mean, obviously, like here, it almost looks like benefits, but that seems kind of, I don't know, that seems torturous to force people to participate in sports if they don't want to. But we got uncompetitive economy. Yikes! Yeah, this is always one that's kind of annoying. Now, increasing the productivity of our workforce makes it so that businesses feel like they get more value out of having manufacturing. Of course, Germany. This is interesting. Uncompetitive economy. Every single Western country, every single country I've loaded up has this uncompetitive economy thing, which I don't understand this, because in actuality, we think of Germany as like a pretty, like, of the European continent at least, like a major manufacturer. A major manufacturer. As in they make things, they export things, as opposed to other countries in the EU that mostly import things. Greece is a good example of that, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, it's like Germany makes things, so I don't quite understand. I don't quite understand this too much. It seems like every single country just by default has this issue, and it's implying that companies are going overseas. Which, I mean, I understand. So it's basically the outsourcing issue, right? So it's like, if we could lower corporate taxation, then corporations are more likely to base in our country, and that makes our economy more competitive compared to, again, they're not really looking at, like, I guess the game's purely just comparing it to like South America or Southeast Asia or Africa or whatever, like rather than Germany compared to France or Germany compared to Italy or something like that. Still, corporate exodus. Yeah, this ties in with the uncompetitive economy, and some of the things might be the corporation. Yeah. So it's saying that our lack of business-friendly policies are forcing international companies to close down factories and offices and move their businesses to other countries to avoid like taxation. They actually don't like the carbon tax, apparently, but the most they don't like labor. They don't like having the fact that we have strong labor laws. Well, it's balanced, but it's not like pro-employer, and so there's a balance going on at the moment. And you can see how if we raise this up, corporate exodus goes way up, right? They do not like pro-union. So I'm just kind of exploring what's going on. I mean, this seems like we could get it down, but In this game, of course, it's always good to know that one, we're playing a game, and two, the game simplifies a lot of concepts, like significantly simplifies a lot of concepts. I mean, there's all kinds of different strategies that countries can impose to penalize or to restrict corporate exodus, or to, you could use the carrot or the stick. I mean, there's tons of different strategies to avoid this. In actuality, that most countries actually don't tend to explore. They tend to focus. This game does accurately focus on things that tend to be the big talking points, like the corporate taxes and stuff. But there are, I don't know, there's a lot of interesting things that you can do. In fact, one thing, if I remember correctly, so if we go up into here, the little light bulb here, we can see, I believe one of the things is tariffs. Is it foreign policy? Nah. Maybe we already have it active. Maybe we have it active. How do we find it? I forgot. Is there a way to search? Yeah. Import tariffs. Yeah. Insufficient. Where is import tariffs? Am I blind? I think we have it somewhere out here probably. What is this? We have a green thing. Erasmus Program is the EU's program to support education, training, youth, and sport in Europe. Each year, over 900,000 people study, train, or volunteer abroad with support from their Erasmus Program, which works with over 100,000 different organizations and 25,000 different projects throughout the EU. So this is helping youth education income a little bit. Just some little benefit for having a certain amount of membership in the EU. The stronger the EU membership, but it seems to also, this is red for whatever reason. As one of the wealthier and more economic stable nations in the EU, you pay a net contribution to the EU government to help support the European economy. And that's okay, so that's what that's representing. Maybe we're not allowed to do the import tariffs or something? I don't see it here. Oh, is this it here? No. We'll find it later. Let's not worry about that. We have apolitical capital. We could do something with this. Very simple thing to do. Could be just change the alcohol tax. We've increased the awareness. Where's the alcohol tax? Is that something we have enacted, or do we need to go into here, go into taxation, and find it here? Oh, we have insufficient political capital there. Okay. Do we even have recreational drugs legalized at all? Well, we also have an obesity problem, so we could do a junk food tax. Makes us a little bit of money. Obesity goes way down. The youth don't like this, but for the most part, poverty actually goes up, right? Because a lot of this junk food, if lower income people are buying this junk food and then they still are buying this junk food, then they lose out. Like the more of their, the cost of the junk food goes up, and therefore their buying power goes down. And poverty, more people become part of that poverty category based on the inflation of the junk food. But it seems like for the most part, it's only a slight increase. We could do other things to help improve poverty. Let's apply that. And it looks like most of our political... Now, I don't think... Does political capital carry over? I can't remember that. Let's just see what we could do. Cyberbully awareness thing. This is great. Who doesn't want this? The youth like it. The parents like it. Cyberbullying awareness campaign. No cyberbullying. There we go. Okay, so we have finished our first day. We spent all our political capital. We have a sense of kind of what's going on a little bit. Antisocial behavior, though. And it brings down tourism, and it brings down... Conservatives do not like this. Do not like this. Liberalism, less people join the liberalism. There's less membership for liberalism. Probably because maybe it's driving people... I'm not sure exactly what that's saying exactly. Alcohol consumption. The police force is trying to bring it down. The camera, security system. Widespread. I always think of the UK when I think of security cameras everywhere. Does Germany do that as well? Every street corner. This, I guess, is the UK. And I guess this is Germany. Every street corner. Face recognition system. I don't know. Maybe the UK has something like that too. I'm not sure. I know that Germany is very pro-privacy laws, so that seems a little bit interesting to me. They have some strong privacy laws, which is why when you go into Google Earth and you're doing like GeoGuessr, GeoGuessr, and you're in Germany, it's like everything is gray, like everything is blurred out, right? Like all of Germany is like blurred out, basically. It's something to do with their privacy laws or something in some way. Okay, let's go to the next day. We haven't even looked at like who makes up our population, to be honest. GDP is actually on the rise. That's exciting. Ooh, major international credit agencies have downgraded the status of your government's debt. Ooh, I think that's really bad. Deficit of 20 billion. Situation is imminent. Oh. Organized crime. That sounds kind of terrifying. Okay, we're going to have to deal with that in the next go. Minus 3% GDP. Business confidence minus 50%. That's not good. But poverty is going up. That's also not good. But overall poverty is very low. Education is very high. Health is fantastic. I mean, the truth is we have good stats. Poverty is low. Crime is a little higher. That we probably want to get crime down, and we probably want to get unemployment down. And those things might kind of coincide. Getting unemployment down might kind of reduce crime passively without sort of aggressive measures. Guys, thanks everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. But what I think we might want to do is we might want to actually poke around and see who makes up the bulk of our population and what kind of things, and maybe start trying to appeal to them, because eventually we're going to have to get reelected here. Well, we could even investigate our election laws and stuff like that. We'll do that in the next episode. Thanks everybody for being here for this first episode of Germany. If you have questions or comments, post them down below. Playlist link down below to find the next episode. So the playlist link will keep everything nice and organized so you guys can get to the next episodes to see what happens with Germany as we just kind of play some Democracy 4 and see where it takes us. Thanks everybody for being here. I will see you guys in the next episode.